So let's talk about the Nintendo Direct that we just saw. I will say this. I don't have a lot of major opinions about the overall Direct. I'm just probably going to show you a couple of clips here or there about the things that I thought were most relevant. So, first of which is RuneScape is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. That's fun. So this isn't the same thing as the other Dragon game you played earlier? RuneScape. What? Yeah, RuneScape. I used to play that game all the time as a kid. For a while though, so I mean, we'll see. It also depends on the price tag. There is also Wii Sports Resort coming out. Yes! Wii Sports! Isn't this just regular Wii Sports from the Switch? I love how they're getting him to play. There's a lot of intensity of just doing this. Why are they showing this? Which I think, was that the one from the original Switch? And then is this just like the Nintendo Switch 2 version? Also, I don't know if it's relevant because Wii Sports original game was free. This one you have to pay for, and it's like, do I want to pay for that? Moving on. There is this game coming out called Big Walk. Unconventional. I found down a hole. And I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna be honest, some of the graphics are questionable. It could just be the trailer. I will say that. I like that the world itself is more like Unreal Engine realistic, but the characters themselves are more, they look like balloons. This is the best way I can describe it. It does look fun. Also, I think it's funny that they showed, or you can steal your friend's binoculars and kick it into the ocean. What? What kind of game is this? Shit, I was like, what? So I will say, if it's cheap, maybe I'll get it. It looks so goofy. I don't know how to just describe it, and moving on. Next one is called Lies of P. Take on enemies using customizable an umbrella. Nice. That allow you to swap between different abilities. But know this. The lies you tell will alter your fate. Lies of P, Complete Edition. Lies of P. Overture, a prequel expansion to the main game, launches on the Nintendo Switch 2 system August 6th. Lies of P. Pre-orders begin later today. It's available on Steam, I guess. Which I guess this game is kind of like, it's a choose your own future, but I guess throughout the game goes, you kind of lie. Okay, so it says here on the Steam Workshop, because I guess this game is a couple of years old, but it says here that it takes the story of Pinocchio and turns it on its head. So that's, I guess, the way it's described. So I guess, yeah, the more that you play the game, the more you lie and things become more unhinged, I guess. I've never heard about it. Apparently, Steam puts it 9 out of 10. So, and Metacritic puts it 80%. PlayStation 4.5 out of 5. So that looks interesting. And the fact that it's coming to Switch, I think would open a whole new avenue of interest out of fans. Okay, next one. I don't know if, I should probably say the price tag. So Switch 2 price. So for the Big Walk, it's priced at $19.99 USD. So Canadian is probably $40. Big Lies, price, Switch 2. It says the complete price is $94.99 Canadian. I guess this is the full DLC version though. Next one. Wii Sports Resort price. According to this, I'm not buying that. Oh my god. That's $69.99 for Wii Sports Resort. No. What? Another Kingdom Hearts game? Okay. I'm gonna tell my cousin. She's gonna be excited about that. When was the last time they made a Kingdom Hearts game? How many Disney characters are we gonna see in this game, though? You know what's fun? This is like downtown Tokyo. Shibuya, it looks like. So, I hang out in Japan? In Kingdom Hearts? Cool! That's cool that they're making another game. Oh yeah, and it does say Disney, so... Kingdom Hearts 4. Let's see if there's a price tag on this one. That is roughly $95 to $105 Canadian.
Oh my gosh. Why is Canadian prices so expensive? And then, of course, we have Star Fox. I don't get a lot of girlies. Yes, okay, this is what I want to see. I want to see more Star Fox.
Blast off for adventure across the Lilac system with Fox McCloud and his crew. A battle for the fate of the galaxy begins. Star Fox launches on Nintendo Switch 2, June 20th.
I was expecting a longer advertisement.
Tutorial and one of the game's opening stages will be available later today on Nintendo eShop.
Okay. Maybe I'll play the demo. Which, honestly, I thought I'd see more. But right now they're having a treehouse for Star Fox. So maybe they're seeing more now. But the demo is out today. So there is that. Star Fox price, Canadian, will be, for the digital version, $59.99, it looks like. But that might be USD as well. Actually, hold on. Let me see. We'll go to Nintendo. Is this Nintendo.ca? It is. Okay, so the digital copy, Canadian, is $69.99. Physical copy is $84.99. I don't know. That was how much Tears of the Kingdom costs. I don't know. Okay, now, last one, which it doesn't have information out now, is The Legend of Zelda. Oh, wait, hold on. We already talked about King's Hearts. Never mind. So The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake is coming out this year. We don't have any information out than what you're about to see. Okay, so we are rewatching this trailer again to see if we can find anything useful. I'm going to make myself smaller so I don't take up the entire screen, you know. We can actually see things.
Long ago, there was a land called Hyrule, created by beings of...
Okay, so obviously Supreme Divinity, they're talking about the three goddesses. What I find interesting is this is the Hyrule Kingdom, and over there is the Deku Tree. In Ocarina of Time, it's different. Hyrule Field, Deku Tree is down here. Like a Hyrule Castle would be here, Deku Tree would be here. But on this map, it looks like Hyrule Castle here, Deku Tree over here. So maybe that's just a fun tapestry, but maybe that's a look at what the map's gonna look like. I don't know what the spikes in the corner are, because there's, like, these over here. Obviously, like, again, Hyrule Castle here, Deku Tree over here, meaning Lost Woods over here. I think these are the children of the forest, so it's suggesting maybe the forest is behind the castle, or Castle Town. Okay, on the edge of this kingdom. Ancient solitary tree? Now... that could mean two things. No. It's the woods. They're talking about the woods. Never mind. I just realized if we're looking at the tapestry here, based on what we're actually seeing. So we're only seeing the top of this tree. Here's Link. Here are the children of the forest. Castle Town's down here. I assume this is another form of another town. I'm not sure which one, but the brick is a different color. This is more of a reddish tone, an orange tone. This one is more of a white, brown tone. So maybe it's two different towns, or it could be the exact same town. I'm wondering if this tapestry is just of the tree and the castle town and that's it. Like, there's no widespread of this tapestry. Yeah.
Each had a fair and lived their innocent lives.
It's very cute sounding.
However, there was one tickball who did not have a fairy.
I like that they bring the green back. We haven't seen it in a while. He's not wearing his hat, though. Did they take the hat away? Please give him the hat back. I want more of his hat. His pajama-looking hats. I just want to talk for a second about the textures of his room, because this is going to tell us a lot about how the game is going to look. So, for example, the woods, or the logs, if you will, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Twilight Princess. There's almost like a burlap curtain that wraps around his bed. Obviously, the specks of the forest. I'm glad that they brought these back. They were so cute and whimsical. These kind of look like a mix between an English ivy and a pothos. Very much a Kikori vining plant. But I want to talk about the textures for a second. A lot of people online have been doing Unreal Engine's remakes of this game. If you look online, you can see a lot of people have been doing this for a while. I wonder if Nintendo kind of took inspiration a little bit from that, because a lot of these textures look like that. I will say this, and this, they kind of look flat, but this one has a little bit of a 3D model. So I'm not sure if these are how the textures are going to completely look during the game, but I will say that these ropes, they do look like they're 3D models. So if, for example, in Tears of the Kingdom, when I upgraded to the Nintendo Switch 2 version, I noticed there was a very clear difference between the first one and the second one, because the second one, you can actually see the mold and the spores of the depths, of the walls of the depths. Whereas in the original version, it was like all blurry. I didn't even know that existed. So it's nice to see that they are utilizing some of these more 3D textures. The question is, though, will some of it still be flat? The nice thing is I'm not seeing squared, jaggedy edges, because I've noticed that even a couple of the games that were, well, like a little bit maybe here and a little bit here, but a lot of the games that we were looking at today on the Nintendo Direct, a lot of them still suffered from those more like pointed edges. Thankfully, they're so small that you almost can't see them there. So there is a little bit of edge smoothing, which is good. I like that Link actually feels lifelike, like he's breathing, and with each breath, as the Triforce pulses, for example, there's little twitches in his fingers, and there's slight movements in his hands, so that there's actual life moving around. Now, here's what I was impressed about, was this logo. And then, of course, it's coming out in 2026. So here's what I find, because I'm like looking at the, what do I put it? The logo to like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom is kind of in a similar text. And specifically this cutout, if you will, on the Z. And then as well as the numbers, because those I think were in the logo. But let's just pull it up for a second. I'm just going to quickly do that. So if we look at the Tears of the Kingdom logo for a second, the font is exactly the same. But if we look at like the original Ocarina of Time logo, which I mean, I know the words are kind of blocked out, but let's go back for a second here. There. Okay, so we have the Tears of the Kingdom logo, which the font from the new one looks like it matches this one. Even like the couple of cuts here at the top there. So like right here, and then the cuts kind of right over here, they're in the same place. Whereas if we look at the original Ocarina of Time logo, there is a lot more shadowing. Like, for example, the shadow between the shield and the font, whereas here they've kind of removed that shadow entirely. They've definitely brightened up the shield even more, even brought in some of that shine, which of course N64 versus new version, so difference. But even the vector, for example, this is see-through. The one on the shield, the font, like the embellishment, if you will, is there, but it's not cut out. And also the words are a lot more condensed, like the ELDA. This one's ELDA, which is a little bit more slowly drawn out. I like that they went with gold. What I do find interesting is why they went with gold. You know, font is a choice, color coordinations, etc. I wonder if it has something to do with Zelda and light powers. The gold is nice. I do think that there is a nice touch to it. I do like that they really have done good work with the Master Sword. It looks good. And in fact, I think some of these colors come out a little bit more than they do in the original logo. Like, let's pull out the Master Sword next to that Master Sword. For example, this one, you can see the shadows a little bit more. The diamond has like an extra diamond around it. So like there's two diamonds. There's the front one, and then there is an outline. Whereas the original one is just a diamond. This one looks like the more recent update of the Master Sword. The ones we see in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Like, for example, the hilt even. This has a nice green cross on it. And that is more Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. Whereas Ocarina of Time, the hilt looks different. And it's also shorter. The hilt is much longer. Or maybe it's just the image. Let me make it a little bit smaller. The hilt, I think, is slightly thicker, but it's shorter. No, it just overall looks so good. And I cannot wait to play this remake. I'm so excited. Let's get rid of the logo. Oh my gosh. What can I say? So, final thoughts of this Nintendo Direct. Honestly, it was kind of subpar. Other than the couple of things that we just chatted about. And of course, the Ocarina of Time. Everything else is just kind of blah.
Listen carefully to the beat. Find your flow, and you'll be able to feel the rhythm. 2, 3, 4, now. 2, 3, now. 2 now. 2, 3.
I feel like, in a way, maybe Nintendo was like, we need to make a direct for Ocarina of Time because it's leaked that the Ocarina of Time is coming out. And so maybe they're like, we gotta announce something because this is ridiculous. Because honestly, everything else in the direct, not that everything was completely useless, Kingdom Hearts 4, Star Fox, you know, I think it's just, it was unnecessary. Like a lot of the other stuff. If they just did a complete direct of just Zelda, that would have been fine. But I feel like, because also you got to keep in mind that this year is the 40th anniversary of Zelda, and they have not announced anything until now for this. So a lot of us were wondering online if there was going to be, you know, a new Switch announcement, like a cover or a new special Switch announced, or amiibo at least, or something. And so the fact that it's not just Ocarina of Time, but I do wonder if other things might be released with this, because this is the time to market. Like, for real. If you want people to buy a Switch 2, you unload the big guns. You give us Ocarina of Time. You give us the amiibos. You give us whatever. So I wonder if there is going to be more announced at some point. I do think it's interesting that they didn't announce a date. They did say 2026, but they didn't specifically say if it's in December, if it's November, if it's tomorrow. That does leave some questions, because usually when they announce stuff like that more ambiguously, it generally means that they're still in the middle of working on it. And in which case it's like, so you're in the middle of working on it and you announced it for 2026? I don't know. But you know what? This is all hearsay. They probably already have a game finished. Maybe they just want to do something bigger in a month from now. I don't know. But I will say this. A couple of months ago, or a month ago, or whatever it was, I made a reel talking about how I think that this version of Ocarina of Time is going to be a reimagine of Ocarina of Time. And the reason why I said that was because the last game they just did was Tears of the Kingdom. Obviously not Tears of the Kingdom. There's Age of Imprisonment as well. But like the era of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Age of Imprisonment, for Zelda that is. And one thing that is pretty connective to Tears of the Kingdom, Age of Imprisonment as this game is the Light Sage. In this game, named Rauru, is also the first king of Hyrule in Tears of the Kingdom, Age of Imprisonment, Rauru. Except Rauru is a Zonai. In the original Ocarina of Time, he was a man. And also, they both have light powers. And here's a theory. At some point, I will put this out somewhere as a full video. But I actually have been wondering if the tears that the champions received in Tears of the Kingdom is actually pieces of the Triforce. Thought I will put a video out this at some point, eventually. But I've been thinking about it for a while. And so I wonder if when Rauru was using his tears to power him up, it would be a piece of the Triforce being used. You know what? This enters another thought. I wonder if some way that, like, when the medallions, because originally Ocarina of Time, you were supposed to use the medallions as a power-up. They would give you different abilities, but that kind of just didn't work out. I wonder if maybe, anyway, we're not going to get into that. That's just hearsay and whatever. But I wonder if this game, I feel like it's an intentional decision, not only because it's going to obviously make the money and because it's, you know, the 40th anniversary of Zelda, but like you could have remade the original Zelda game. You could have remade Link to the Past, but you chose Ocarina of Time, which I know it's because it's like the best game of all time. And that's not just me being like subjective. Google will say that too. But I wonder if Nintendo wants to use this as an opportunity to fix their timeline. And so I wonder if they're going to start throwing new legends in this game that has to do with the realm of the timeline and everything. I hope this to be a much bigger game than Ocarina of Time ever was. I know that's maybe a weird thought, but I don't want a one-for-one Hyrule Field, because Hyrule Field is so small in Ocarina of Time. I want to explore. I want to live Breath of the Wild Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time. So, like, maybe I'm asking for a tall order. I don't know, but I want more. So this is what I'm hoping for. And I do suspect that I was correct when I said that this is a reimagine of Ocarina of Time, not a one-for-one. Because again, they already have a one-for-one. That was for the 3DS. So I genuinely do think that this is a reimagine. And I want it out now. But anyways, I'm going to stop talking about this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear what you thought about this announcement and everything. But anyways, If you're new to my channel, my name is Sarah. I'm the host of Sarah's Spare Corner. Sarah's Spare Corner encompasses gaming as well as arts, crafts, and various different forms of creativity. Additionally, I like sharing theories, concepts, and ideas as I am a philosophy major. And when I'm not bored, I might travel places and I might post about it. Let me know what you think. Even if you disagree with me fully, are you excited for this game? Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye now.